Good morning, YouTube, and happy Thursday morning. I'm here to talk about Empire, Season 4, Episode 5. Okay, so this thing opens up with the family, most of the family members are having this meeting with a custody attorney. So they got thirsty, but this guy specializes in custody battles. So Cookie, Hakeem, the family, they're telling this lawyer all the details. Seems like they're telling pretty much all the details about the birth of Bella, her parentage, and the whole saga. Okay, next thing, as they're in that meeting, TMZ comes on. Someone says, turn on TMZ. And TMZ, the story is broken about Lucious's true condition, about his traumatic brain injury. So it's supposed to be a big story, but I guess the good part about it is it's out in the open now. So Lucious is willing to deal with it in the open because they had no choice. The story is broken, so they're going to have all these issues now with this board, who they answer to. Okay, then we see Andre. This is a weird part of this thing. I don't totally understand it. Andre is still sleeping with this cop, Officer Rose. Now, Rose is investigating the death of this Las Vegas murder, a missing woman, whatever her name was. Anyway, she's working on the case against his family, and he's still sleeping with her. And they've agreed to not talk about the case. Now, why would she be sleeping with him if they weren't going to talk about the case? Obviously, she's going to use whatever information she gains from being with him, and she does. It's unavoidable. All right, so Andre's still boning her. At some point, she drops this information to play him against Shine. She's mentioned that Shine is talking. Andre takes it in, plays it off, but he's going to have a confrontation with Shine, obviously. She's leading him to believe that they have him and Shine on tape, perhaps carrying the body, having something to do with this murder. But yes, she's staying out of the case. Anyway. Okay, so Claudia apologized for crossing the line. Was it last week? Claudia and him have gotten a little too close. I think they may have had sex, so she is apologizing to him for crossing the line with him, right? So far, Claudia's true intentions are not still clear. Is she just there as a physical therapist, a mental therapist, to get him back, his memory back, or is she romantically interested in him? It's never crystal clear what her motivations are. Is she just trying to catch a rich man? We don't know yet, but it's going to have to climax pretty soon because let me not get ahead of it. But we're about to deal with this in this episode. The Claudia situation. Okay, the board meets with Lucious. They want answers. They want to know what's wrong with him. They want to know how severe his condition is. They call a meeting and sit him down. Tell us about your problems. So a bit of Lucious comes back and he essentially shuts them down. Tells them, I don't answer to you. You don't ask me questions about my mental health. I think this meeting is over. They get up and go. There's not much they can do, but they're plotting. All right, so we've seen the first hint of the old Lucious coming back. Or at least he was able to handle that meeting and explain himself. Or take charge of the meeting. I think that's the key thing. So Cookie got a little smile on her face. My husband's back. A little bit. Okay, Angelo. Okay, so Jamal and this boy, who another one we don't know, we're not clear about his motives. What's the boy's name? Marcus, or I forget his name. The child, Warren. Okay, so Jamal and Warren are in this limo, right? Or in this SUV limo. They're going to drop Jamal off. She says, take Warren wherever he needs to go. But no, Warren said, no, I'll walk. Or take the subway from here. So they get out of the limousine, and they're approached by Angelo, who is actually Warren's cousin. They have to play it off because no one knows that they're cousins. They're related. No one knows that Warren was sent there to do harm. And now we're not even clear because we don't know if Warren's in love with Jamal, or he started off one way and ended up another way, or what. But something strange happens because Angelo serves Jamal with, Angelo's an attorney. He serves Jamal with these papers, this subpoena to come in the pier to speak about Bella in the custody battle. Right? And he says some snappy things to his cousin. Him and his cousin don't get along. They're in competition with each other. And so he kind of drops a lug about where do you think the information's been coming from about Lucious' true condition. And then he looks up at Warren. Jamal doesn't catch it because Warren immediately goes to try to explain after Angelo walks off that I never meant to. He cuts him off. Jamal says, oh, he's just off. He's after my family and all that kind of stuff. So it goes over Jamal's head that these two, he was saying that here's where your snitch is, standing right next to you. Okay, so Lucious, okay, so Lucious goes down. He's in the studio, and he's working with this girl, V. V is the girl that he was working with when this whole series first started. In the very first episode, he was trying to coax her and just bring in this vocal. Well, now it's almost the same kind of a scene, although this is not so heartless as to bring up her dead brother. But he's motivating her, which is what a producer does, sort of like a director. He's getting her to go deeper, bring the music up. He's starting to feel himself in the studio again. Then they say, okay, let's go over here to Shine. Now they've agreed to let these reporters follow them around to verify that Lucious is back. He has the capacity to run the company. Okay, so he's got all of these, maybe 6-7 reporters following them all around the studio, right? So after they get through doing with V's, or listening to him lay that track, they go to Shine's studio. When he hears Shine's studio, he starts seeing flashes of red, blood, violence. Shine's music shows him the color red. It's a violent color. It's violence. So he tells him to stop. Lucious does this on his own. Before he would have panic attacks and run out the room and fall on the ground. None of that. Just stop. It's just violence with no purpose. Work on it some more. So he takes charge. Of course, Sean is, he loves his stuff. Yeah, pump it up. No, turn it off. All right. Next thing happens, Eddie. Okay. Next thing happens is, so the board is not convinced. So in their little tour, they get ready to leave. Eddie shows up. Eddie Barker, who is a internationally known. He's a record producer. He's the one that got Lucious started. Okay, so they all know who he is. He shows up, and eventually he sends the reporters away. They're also impressed by him because he's even bigger than Lucious is. He's a legend. Okay, Angelo and Warren get into it over. Okay, Angelo likes to call Warren a prostitute, so That's the way he sees him. So I don't know if he even knew he was gay, or he's supposed to be here just pretending to be gay, not be gay. So those two get into it about Jamal. It's going to be weird because no matter how he feels about Jamal, how are you going to say that, oh, I was sent here by my mother to destroy you? But I start that classic Hollywood kind of thing. I have feelings for you now, and I don't think it's going to work. Either one or the other. If you prove to be a rat, then you're out. So it looks like Jamal might get his little heart broken again. Hakeem shows up at the place, at the same office. Angela opens the door and Hakeem pops him in the mouth about his custody over Bella. Hakeem makes his dumb decision now. He's going to take Bella and run to Cuba. He's never been all that bright. I don't know how in the hell they were going to have Hakeem, a boy, run Empire. That was the Lucious' initial plan, but that would not have ended well. Anyway, so he's got this plan percolating in his head to take Bella and run, like he's going to parent Bella. Well, in his plan, he wants this girl Tatiana, Tayana. He wants her to go with him, but she's gonna have to take charge of that. So we'll get there in a minute. Okay. Andre confronts Shine about him talking to the cops. So, and he's buying this story this girl has done dropped on him. The girl who's not supposed to have anything to do with the case. She's just sleeping with him, right? Which is, this is the dumbest. That is just stupid. You're investigating us. I'm fucking you, and I can't. But you're not going to use anything against me. You're not going to use any information. You're not even curious about what I know. It's stupid. I don't get that storyline at all. But you know what cop I liked? I like that first one they had. Ooh, remember that evil broad, that prosecutor, who Lucious ended up killing. What do you do? Burn somebody up and put her in the seat next to her? We ain't seen her since. Damn, she quit her job after that? I don't know. She disappeared, but that's the cop I could deal with because she was nasty and evil and enjoyable. Anyway, so all right, so Andre confronts Shine about this thing. Shine tells her, I ain't talking to nobody. What are you talking about? So Shine is not a rat. He had been working with the cops, nothing like that. But this woman is playing them against each other. Apparently, Andre comes to realize that as he's checking this man. Basically, of course they threaten each other. This is the last time it's going to happen kind of thing. It ain't the first time they've gotten to that point. But, all right, Lucious going into this thing about one of Claudia's plans about working with, since he's saying that he sees different colors when he hears music. All music triggers some color in his mind. Claudia comes up with a plan to use these colors, these finger colors or acrylics, for him to make music or him to do artwork. He starts doing the artwork. He starts getting into it. At some point, he goes into this trance, writing all over the windows at Empire. And Cookie comes in. She tries to talk to him. People try to talk to him. He's in like a trance. And this is identical to the trance he would go into when he was producing music. In other words, when they were young, when Cookie and Lucious were young, they had a house full of kids, tiny little house, a little cramped house, all this stuff going around him. He could go into this trance and make music, even in that environment. And she started flashing on various times when she's trying to get through to him. You can't get through to him while he's making music. Same thing is going on with these colors. So he's just maestro, And she says, Claudia says, no, he's listening to music now in his mind. And Cookie says, no, he's making music. And doing all these color spins and things, he starts realizing things, remembering things. He comes back to himself. This thing we've been waiting for the last 4 episodes. He is back to being Lucious. while doing this artwork. Then he comes to another realization. Although I was never totally clear about what Claudia's motivations was she really falling for him or what, But first he starts seeing Claudia. He's dancing with her, in all this mess and this paint all over the place. He sees her face, but her face keeps switching with Cookie's face. So he had told her, Claudia, that she was his muse. But no. The reason the face is becoming more and more Cookie, even though he's dancing with her. No. So she's into it. You told me I was your muse and we were going to go on and do big things together and all this. She said, no, you get the wrong idea. She says, no, you're not my muse. Cookie's my muse. So I'm not satisfied with the way that whole thing ended with, I guess it's ended because at that point he says, no, you can get your stuff and go. So why would he be so nasty to her after she done restored his mind? Granted, it's not charity work, but she's getting a paycheck. She's exceeded what he expected from her. So when he comes to this realization, it wasn't her pursuing him. Hell, he was pursuing her. And now he turned on her and tell her to get out of his house. He said, okay, I thank you for your service. You can leave now. Cookie walks in, of course, and she's all happy. Oh, I told you can leave. Goodbye. So they had the maid go and pack their stuff. She walks out. Lucious tried to tell Cookie about all of this, how this revelation he's had and how he's got his memory back. But he can't talk because Cookie is busy. And she said, well, tell me in the car, fool. Walks out. And that's the end. Okay. See you next week, people. It's pretty good. It's hard to recapture what we felt about Empire. That first season. It's hard. I guess all these writers, they try to get that back. But all shows come to an end at some point. I'm not saying this is coming to an end. But I'm saying they just can't be that good anymore. They can't. We're not being introduced to these characters anymore. The music, the company, the whole story, the whole backstory that we fell in love with, that can't come back. So now they got to keep reinventing this thing. So it was pretty good. See you next week.